What's up, everyone? Welcome back to King Anime Review, and for this video, I'll be reviewing Chapter 68 of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, titled Scar. And I went back and read Chapter 67 as well, just so I can fully understand what's going on with this Karma Seal situation and how Boruto was revived. And after going back and rereading Chapter 67 and reading this chapter, I finally fully understand what's going on with the Karma Seal, and it actually does make sense. It's pretty complicated, and I think you got to reread it a couple times to really figure out what's going on. But it's very, very detailed, and it does actually make sense. Now, so the chapter started off, chapter 68 started off with Boruto talking to Amato, Sai, and Katasuke. And he tells them what happened. He tells them what Momoshiki told him and how Momoshiki said that he was revived. And Momoshiki basically said that Boruto was at 82%, like the Karma Seal was 82% extracted into his body, meaning it only had 18% left to extract. But when Boruto died at the hands of Kawaki, when Kawaki killed Boruto, his lungs and heart was destroyed, and he lost a lot of blood. So Kawaki actually did kill Boruto. However, since the Karma Seal is literally Momoshiki himself compressed, he used that remaining 18% to basically revive Boruto by, sacrificing himself and parts of his own flesh and blood and body parts to resurrect Boruto. Now, this does make sense, and it is very complicated. So I'm going to try to break this down so that everybody can understand this, because I actually had to go back and reread this a couple times. Now, so essentially what it is literally in chapter 67, it says that the Karma Seal is literally basically Momoshiki compressed. Like, that's literally what the Karma Seal is. It's Momoshiki himself compressed into the seal. So that includes, obviously, his blood, chakra, and DNA and stuff, and his power. But that also includes his soul, which is why he brings up, like, if Boruto would have died, his soul would have been extinguished, because Boruto is his only vessel. Boruto is his soul and only vessel. So if Boruto would have died, that means his soul would have been extinguished. Now, since Boruto had a huge hole in his chest and parts of his organs, his internal organs have been destroyed, and he lost a lot of blood, that meant that he was going to die. But since it was still 18% left of the Karma Seal that hadn't extracted yet, that meant that Momoshiki could use that 18%, which, like I said, the Karma Seal is actually Momoshiki compressed. So literally he could use that 18% of his own blood, chakra, DNA, and stuff like that to basically restore Boruto's internal organs and to heal him. Now, at first, when I went back and I was rereading and I was trying to figure out if this made sense or not, I was thinking, like, if Momoshiki, like, if the Karma Seal, basically, Momoshiki can't, force the Karma Seal to extract at a speed that he wants it to extract. Because if he could, then he would have already had Boruto be at 100%. So obviously, Momoshiki, it's a time period. And the pills was slowing down the speed of the extraction. So, yeah, it was a whole time period with that thing. But since the way I believe this makes 100% sense, and it's pretty complicated, but like I said, this makes complete sense, because since Boruto is Momoshiki's vessel, like the Karma Seal can only extract if Boruto's alive, and in one piece, pretty much. That's the way I'm interpreting this, because before Boruto got the hole in his chest, basically, the Karma Seal it was actually stated that the Karma Seal was turning Boruto into Momoshiki, using Momoshiki's data to basically overwrite Boruto's data and turn Boruto into Momoshiki. That's what the Karma Seal was doing. And while that was happening, before Boruto got the hole in his chest, his body was in a pretty good condition, and it didn't have any huge holes or anything. The Karma Seal had to overwrite Boruto's data. But when Boruto got that hole in his chest, the Karma Seal didn't have to overwrite his data, because it was a huge hole in his chest. So right there in that space, it wasn't anything to overwrite. It was just space to fill, because it was an empty space right there. And that's the only reason why Momoshiki was able to use that remaining 18% of the Karma Seal to fill that space in Boruto's body and basically revive him and resurrect him, because it was empty space there and the Karma Seal didn't have to overwrite anything. So I believe that's the only reason why Momoshiki was able to save Boruto with the Karma Seal, due to the fact that the karma seal is actually Momoshiki himself compressed in data form, and thus it contains his blood chakra and DNA and his organs and stuff like that. So whatever Boruto lost, like his internal organs or some blood and stuff like that, Momoshiki could obviously replace that with his own blood chakra, DNA, or internal organs. But yeah, it does make sense why Momoshiki previously wasn't able to speed up the Aotsukification with the karma seal, because the karma seal had to overwrite Boruto's data. But when Boruto had that hole in his chest, it wasn't anything to overwrite there because it was an empty space. And he basically said that he can't, Boruto won't be able to be revived like that ever again. But that 18% is now gone, and Boruto's 100% Aotsuki. Now, I might do a separate video talking about Boruto and Kawaki, because it's very interesting what's going on with them and their karma seals. It's very, very, very interesting. But this video is reviewing chapter 68, so I'm not gonna spend an entire video talking about that. But anyway, so yeah, that's what happened. Boruto explained what Momoshiki told him to Katasuke and Amato, and Sai, and he explained that stuff, and they were pretty happy about it, because they came to the conclusion. They was like, yeah, so this basically means it's impossible for Momoshiki to resurrect. So yeah, they were happy about that. And also they were like, Amato said that even though Momoshiki can't resurrect, it's still a chance that he could take over Boruto's consciousness from time to time. And that is a huge threat, because technically Boruto is Momoshiki's only vessel now, but if he does gain control over Boruto's consciousness, he could possibly implant a karma seal on somebody else. So Momoshiki is still a huge threat because of that. And some people might doubt that, but all you gotta do is look at Jigen. Because Jigen, well, technically Ishiki, he was inside of Jigen's body, and he actually was able to implant a karma seal on Kawaki, as well as Code and many other people. So now Code's his karma seal didn't really work like that, as far as making him a vessel. But still, point is, the vessels can implant karma seals on other people. So the Aotsuki don't have to do it necessarily directly themselves. They can use their vessels to do that, to implant karma seals on people. So Momoshiki is still a huge threat. However, Katasuke said, well, Boruto, he could just keep on taking the pills, and that he was basically saying the pills should be a solution for that, or whatever, as far as Momoshiki taking control. And Boruto said he doesn't think he said he don't think he's gonna need to do that, because he thinks that he can channel Momoshiki's power better now. And essentially what he means by that is, basically channel means like basically direct or control. So like basically saying he can control Momoshiki's power now. He feels like he can control Momoshiki's power a lot better now. And we actually seen, I think he actually is right about that, because in his battle against Kawaki, we could see that he actually fully basically suppressed Momoshiki during that time. So that might be what he's talking about. Just in general, I think that does make sense. I think he can control Momoshiki's power a lot better now. But anyways, moving on to the next stuff. The next scene was Momoshiki. It was Kawaki. We had a scene with Kawaki in the hospital, and Shikamaru was talking to Sumire. Sumire, Shikamaru, Ibiki, and Naruto were in the hospital room with Kawaki. Now, Kawaki was unconscious, but he was fully healed. He was fully self-healed due to the technology inside of his body and stuff. He was fully self-healed, but he was unconscious. And Shikamaru was answering, Sumire asked, why would you ask me to come here instead of Amato? And Shikamaru said, it's some stuff we still have to confirm with Amato. And until we confirm those things, we can't let Amato come near Kawaki. Not unless, as long as Kawaki's okay, they can't allow Amato to come near Kawaki. So as long as Kawaki doesn't have anything that, anything in particular, like any injuries that Amato need to look at. But he wasn't injured. So, yeah. So, and that actually does make sense, because it makes sense. It makes sense that Shikamaru was trying to keep Amato away from Kawaki, as long as, they don't necessarily need Amato to help Kawaki. It makes sense that he's trying to separate them, because Amato did put the karma seal on Kawaki without Kawaki's consent, and he secretly did it without telling anybody. So obviously it makes sense why Shikamaru is suspicious of Amato. Now, and then Ibiki asks a very dumb question. He asks, so do you plan on keeping him bound? Keeping him unbound? He asked Shikamaru and Naruto, do they plan on keeping Kawaki unbound? And Shikamaru was like, well, and the reason I say that's a dumb question is because Kawaki he's literally a hero of the Hidden Leaf Village. Not only did he save and protect everybody, Shikamaru and Naruto in the battle against Code, but he also basically played a huge part in defeating, he basically defeated Ishiki, or at the very least played a huge part in defeating Ishiki, and he defeated Borushiki as well. So this guy has saved the world plenty of times by now. He also saved Naruto in the battle against Delta. He saved Naruto and Himawari, etc. So this guy's a hero to the Hidden Leaf Village. So why would you ask, oh, you're planning on keeping him unbound? Of course they're going to keep him unbound. What you think they're going to do? Put him in jail for doing... He really didn't even do anything wrong. Even in the Code fight, yeah, he killed Boruto, but Boruto asked Kawaki to kill him because he knew that Momoshiki was a threat to everybody else around him. And yeah, so that's the case with that. Now, Shikamaru basically says that even if they wanted to restrain Kawaki, they couldn't, because he could just shrink. He could use Ishiki's ability to shrink out of anything they tried to bind him with. And as far as sealing jutsu, he could just absorb that with the Karma Seal. And essentially, Kawaki, this is basically confirming that the Hidden Leaf Village has nothing that they could use to restrain Kawaki. No scientific ninja tools, none of that. So essentially, this is basically confirming that Kawaki's like literally the strongest character in the village, aside from Sasuke. I think Sasuke is the only one who could restrain Kawaki, but Shikamaru didn't mention Sasuke because he didn't even know Sasuke was back in the village at that point. But I think Sasuke could like use Genjutsu on Kawaki. As far as we know, Kawaki has no Genjutsu resistance feats. So at least with Sharingan based Genjutsu, and I don't think most other Genjutsu will be too weak to work on him pretty much. But Sharingan Genjutsu that actually has staying power. Like it can work a lot longer than any other type of Genjutsu. So yeah, I'll say probably Sarada or Sasuke could restrain him. But anyways, yeah. So they were talking about that, and also Shikamaru said it'll be bad to antagonize Kawaki because he's extremely strong, and it's better to keep him on their side and stuff like that. And Naruto also says, and Shikamaru says the Hidden Leaf, we should try to do things the most peaceful way. And Naruto says, yeah, that's how the Hidden Leaf Village does things. And he says Naruto said he's gonna have a long talk with Kawaki when Kawaki wakes up. And also it's implied that less than a day passed because Sumire asked Shikamaru about Naruto, and it seemed like she was catching on to the fact that Naruto seemed to be kind of like Naruto was kind of like implying that it was a problem with Kawaki, which is why he said we're gonna have a long talk when he wakes up. Sumire seemed to be catching on with that because she asked, "Hey, what happened with Kawaki or whatever, or what happened with Naruto or whatever?" And Shikamaru said it's been he just got back this morning after a long battle or whatever, so he was exhausted. And so that basically implies that it's been less than a day that have passed. And the whole thing with the claw marks, because we seen that Code placed a claw mark on Shikamaru. Now, the thing with the claw marks is Code was, like, I'm not going to say Code is dumb, because he obviously did something very smart in the last chapter when he used Daemon to save himself from Kawaki's attack. But that claw mark plan, I mean, I'm not going to say it was necessarily dumb. It's just that the way he put it on Shikamaru would have made it very obvious for Shikamaru to figure that out, because he put it on Shikamaru's neck. So he literally put it on Shikamaru's body part. So obviously Shikamaru should be able to feel a claw mark on his neck. So I don't think, because they tried to play it up, like towards the end of the chapter, they tried to make it seem like it was a huge intelligent feat for Shikamaru. Like, wow. They tried to make Kishimoto, it seemed like Kishimoto tried to make Shikamaru seem extremely smart because he figured out what was going on with the claw marks. I mean, it's like, bro, I mean, anybody should be able to figure that out. I mean, why would you not feel something on your neck? Now, to be honest, it would have been smarter if Code placed the claw marks on, like, Shikamaru's, like on his clothes, on his clothes or something, or maybe on his shoes or something like that. Now, even if he did do that, he'll be it wouldn't be guaranteed to work because like the second Shikamaru takes off his clothes, like say a day, more than a day passed between. Like if Shikamaru took longer to talk to Amato than he did originally, say he took more than a day to talk to Amato, he most likely would have changed his clothes by then. So he most likely would have noticed the claw mark. But yeah, that's the case with that. Anyway, so then Sasuke, he came in, he started talking to Shikamaru about Code's hideout. He figured out where Code's hideout was. It was in the land of, it was on the edge of the land of snow. And he says that there's no definitive proof that Code is there, but it seems very likely that Code is there because apparently that's where Boro's cult was. I guess some people from Boro's cult was there, and one of Code's, you know, one of the people working with Code is, you know, Bug. He figured out who Bug was and stuff like that. Now, so yeah, basically Sasuke, he figured out where Code was hiding out at. So yeah, that's the case with that. Sasuke's back in the Hidden Leaf Village now, so that's cool. Cool to see him again in the chapter. And then we also had, oh yeah, Shikamaru said that the only people who knows that Kawaki tried to kill Boruto, or basically that Kawaki killed Boruto, is Ino, Sai, Amato, Katasuke, and obviously him and Naruto knows about it because they seen it. But yeah, Sasuke heard about it and he asked if it was true. So most likely Sasuke, you know, since he's a higher up, he most likely heard that information from maybe Naruto or somebody like that. But yeah, so then Eida, we have a couple pages where Eida is talking to Code, and she's basically telling Code that, you know, he's doing some, you know, reckless stuff like getting her brother involved and stuff like that without her permission. And she basically tells Code that if, you know, he becomes a hindrance to her, she's gonna dispose of him, or she's basically like, it's basically like implied that she's gonna kill him or something like that if he becomes a hindrance to her. And Code has no choice but to just listen to all of this because he's nowhere near strong enough to deal with Eida. And even if he did get his limiters taken off, he would still be weaker than Eida and he wouldn't be able to kill her because of her ability. So yeah, that's the case with that. Also, she tells Code that he's pretty lucky since Boruto's still alive, and she couldn't see exactly what happened with Boruto and Momoshiki, but Boruto's still alive, and Code is pretty lucky that he has his sacrifice because of that. So yes, that's what happens with that. And then we have a scene where Shikamaru he goes to Amato and he, you know, asks asks what happens with Boruto and asks if Momoshiki can resurrect, and basically Amato says no, Momoshiki can't resurrect. It's pretty much 100%. They're pretty much 100% sure that Momoshiki can't resurrect. And then Shikamaru grabs Amato and he starts asking them about the Karma Seal and basically why did he put a Karma Seal on Kawaki without Kawaki's consent or whatever. And then Amato pretty much explained the stuff we already knew, that, you know, he already explained this stuff in previous chapters pretty much, that, you know, as long as Kawaki had the intent to get the Karma Seal, he was going to be able to get it or whatever. So that he pretty much explained that stuff. Well, I don't need to go over that stuff again. And then Boruto was talking to Sarada and Mitsuki about what happened, and he basically remembered that, or he was thinking about the fact that Shikamaru basically told Boruto not to tell anybody that Kawaki tried to kill him, or that Kawaki actually did kill him. So basically Boruto was pretty much hiding the fact that Kawaki actually killed him. And he basically kind of lied about it. And he kind of said that basically Code tried to kill him. And Mitsuki was like, if Code, why would Code try to kill you if he wants to sacrifice you to the Ten Tails? And Boruto was like, Code, he probably doesn't think that far ahead. And he probably lost control of himself or something like that. So yeah, he pretty much lies to his friends and pretty much hides. He basically makes it seem like Code is the one who actually tried to kill him instead of Kawaki. Or not tried to, actually did kill him. Because it seems like, yeah, so Boruto, so Mitsuki and Sarada actually they fully know about what happened with Boruto. It's just that they think Code is the one that killed Boruto and not Kawaki. But everything else they know about. They know that Boruto is 100% Aotsutsuki now, and they know about, you know, all of that stuff. So yeah, they know everything about Boruto's karma seal. And also, Sarada was actually feeling Boruto's scar on his chest where he got the karma seal implanted. So she was actually feeling that, and they were asking questions about that and stuff. And then Sasuke came in and he told them that Boruto, like, Sarada basically said that, you know, he's going to be an even bigger target now that he's 100% Otsutsuki. And Sasuke came in, he agreed with Sarada, and he pretty much said that Cole could come at any time, especially since he's most likely going to be he's most likely going to want to get his limiters off faster now, even more so now because the fact that Kawaki was a challenge for him. And he basically, Sasuke tells Boruto that he can't be left alone at all, not even in the village. Like, basically, Boruto is going to have to be somebody around Boruto at all times, even in the village, is pretty much what Sasuke was saying. And then we go back to Amato talking to Shikamaru. And while Amato was talking to Shikamaru about the karma seal and stuff like that, Cole comes out of the claw mark that he placed on Shikamaru. He was listening to the conversation with ear through the claw mark, but he actually fully comes out of the claw mark, and he pushes, like, he basically knocks away Shikamaru, and he starts choking Amato, and he basically tells Amato, yeah, I know all you have to do is look into my eyes and say a command, so hurry up and take these limiters off, pretty much. And he was pretty much threatening to kill Amato, and Shikamaru used the shadow possession jutsu to stop Cole from moving. I thought that was pretty weird because right after Shikamaru used the shadow possession jutsu on Cole says, oh, I can still move my fingertips, so this is useless. And the reason I thought that was weird is because Cole has a karma seal. And I gotta probably go back and reread a couple of the fights. But I find it weird that Cole doesn't absorb jutsu with his karma seal, or maybe he did in the fight against Boruto and Kawaki. Maybe he did absorb jutsu. Maybe he did. I can't remember. But why didn't I just find it weird that he wouldn't just absorb Shikamaru's shadow possession jutsu? Yeah, so I think that was pretty weird. But then what ends up happening is Ino says, hey, I'm sending reinforcements, but Shikamaru says no, just tell Naruto and the others. I'm assuming he's pretty much just talking about the higher ups like Naruto, Sasuke. He says just tell them about it, but I'll handle it. You don't need to send anybody, pretty much. And then that coffin that we seen a while ago, basically I predicted in one of my previous videos, in one of my reviews, the first time we seen that coffin, I predicted that it was Delta in the coffin. And I think I also predicted a long time ago that Delta was going to help the Hidden Leaf Village. I think that was probably a couple years ago that I predicted that Delta was going to help the Hidden Leaf Village. I'm probably going to go and look for that video so I can link it somewhere. But I think I did predict that a long time ago. So some of my predictions have been coming true in this chapter, which is cool. So, yeah. So anyways, the person that came out of that coffin was Delta. It was a new Delta. I'm going to call her Delta 2.0. Her name is, let's see. Her name is Bronco. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm going to call her Delta 2.0. And she has a Hidden Leaf Village symbol, upside down Hidden Leaf Village symbol on her head instead of the Roman numeral from the car organization. So yeah, that shows that her affiliation has changed. She is now on the side of the Hidden Leaf Village, and she has the same personality that she did have. Like, she's kind of like she don't like being bossed around by Shikamaru and stuff like that. She gets kind of annoyed. She gets kind of irritated and stuff like that. And she's loud and kind of like angry seeming, just like how the old Delta was. So yeah, it seems like she maintained her same personality, which is cool. And once she gets woken up, she kicks Cole with her, scientific ninja tool, enhanced legs or whatever. She kicks Cole and she basically one-shots Cole. And I think I did say this in one of my previous videos, or at least in the comment section of one of my videos. I think I did say that Delta is stronger than Code, and this chapter pretty much proves that, because Delta one-shots Code, and then Code literally needs to bring Eida to help him. So that basically proves that Code himself even knew that he couldn't handle Delta by himself. And it's funny because he seemed pretty cocky in the anime. When it was in one of the anime original scenes, he seemed like when him and Delta was about to fight, It seemed like he was pretty cocky and he thought that he could actually beat Delta, but he actually got one shot by Delta. So I don't know if this Delta is stronger than the previous Delta, but just in general, I think Delta is stronger than Code as of right now, at least until he gets his limiters taken off. And even Code seems to think that himself, which is why he actually needs Eida's help, which is why he brings Eida out, which is cool, man. Eida is finally going to get into action. It's cool. Eida's finally leading the Hidden Leaf Village. That's hype. That's some hype stuff. I'm really happy about that. She's finally in the Hidden Leaf Village. She's finally not just watching the fights and stuff like that. She's finally going to get involved. And I love that. I can't wait for the next chapter. I might do a preview or a predictions video for the next chapter, but this video right now is already getting too long. But overall, that was an amazing way to end the chapter. I freaking loved it. And everything that happened in this chapter, all of the reveals, all of the explanations, all of the dialogue, or most of the dialogue, and the fighting and stuff, everything in this chapter, for the most part, was fantastic. Aside from Ibiki asking that dumb question I talked about, and a few other minor problems like Code not absorbing the Shadow Possession Jutsu. A few little minor problems I had with it. But overall, this chapter was fantastic. And I will actually say that this is the best chapter in all of Boruto right now. Or at least one of the best chapters in the Boruto manga. Because we had a lot of stuff. It was cutting back and forth to different important moments. It didn't seem like, basically everything that we see in this chapter seemed very important. We had important explanation after important explanation. Cutting back and forth between important explanations. We got to see a lot of the important characters like Sasuke, Naruto, Kawaki, Boruto, Sarada, Misuke, Eida, and Delta. We got the reveal of who that cyborg was that Amato was talking about. And I ended up being a new version of Delta 2.0. And overall, this chapter was amazing. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 in terms of story, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 in terms of artwork. And yeah, overall, this was an amazing, once again, this was an amazing 10 out of 10 chapter of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. And I can't wait to next month's chapter. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you guys like the video, please drop a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that channel notification bell to be notified on all of my future videos. And also, drop a comment. Let me know what you thought of this chapter and of my review in the comment section below. Would you rate this chapter out of 10? Let me know in the comment section below. And share the video all over the internet. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.